Well then, let's talk about how Sarkeesian is benefiting from being a victim and how she has set out to ruin video games for everyone.
The combination of a large-scale attempt to silence Sarkeesian and her decision not to be silent about it made her a minor feminist celebrity.
So what you're saying is that the only reason Anita Sarkeesian got famous is because she was harassed, not because of the quality of her work? Yeah, I agree with that.
And she closed a $6,000 campaign with just shy of $160,000. In the 3 years since, this cycle has repeated and amplified dozens of times.
Oh, you're doing all my work for me. Well, alright, let's just play the next part.
An attempt to silence, followed by exposure of the attempt, followed by news articles and increased attention. And every time, her detractors go off and plan more elaborate efforts to make Sarkeesian disappear, essentially creating next week's Sarkeesian talking points.
Yeah, exactly. I thought we were disagreeing, but you're just making my point for me. So Anita gets harassed, then she publicizes the harassment, gets a lot of money and a lot of fame from it, then she provokes more harassment so she can repeat the cycle. Yes? Perhaps we disagree when it comes to the actual provocation of the harassment, but that's part of publicizing it. Have you ever heard the old adage, don't feed the trolls?
Don't ever feed him after midnight.
Well, it exists for a reason. Once these assholes see that they're getting to you, that you're actually being offended and affected by their words, do you think they're just gonna stop? That's their whole thing. They want to provoke a reaction. So once they get a reaction, it's like, yes! I actually got to her. She publicized my death threat. Haha, that bitch. Let me send some more. That's how they work. That's just how things are. Is it how it's supposed to be? No. But it's how it is. We're not living in some utopia, it's reality.
They've repeatedly tried to hack her personal information. They've sent her hundreds of highly specific death threats, some including the home addresses of her and her family, which she now dutifully screenshots and forwards to the FBI.
And then she lets everyone know about them, making sure that she'll receive plenty more. The question is this a strategy or is it stupidity? Is she doing this intentionally because she knows it will bring in money and publicity to her organization? Or is it that she's trying to do something good, like publicizing it to make the conversation in the media about how women are being harassed online? I'm much more inclined to believe the latter, that she actually believes that she's doing something good.
In the reactionary web's tendency to assume that anyone you hate must be a minority of some kind, many let loose with a torrent of anti-Semitism, dubbing her Jew-Keesian.
Oh no, I have to defend this. That's uncomfortable. Yeah, some of the people who use these images are genuine anti-Semites. And a lot of the time, these images are used to harass, just like any other insult. But there's a lot of people who use them ironically, to mock the people who would post them genuinely. It's kind of a parody thing. And yeah, it's kind of offensive, even when used as a joke, but that's kind of the point. The humor springs from that breaking of the societal taboo.
Dave, how's your bar mitzvah?
Oh, again with the Jew jokes?
Hey, if you can't take the heat, get out of the oven.
It's kinda like joking about group rape. Not everyone's gonna enjoy it, but 9 out of 10 people will.
Which, when her true heritage was determined, flipped to anti-Armenian commentary without skipping a beat.
Wait, did you just pull that line straight from her Twitter? That's a bit weird. But yeah, and yeah. I couldn't really find any other anti-Armenian harassment, so I'm not sure where the whole idea of everybody suddenly harassing her for being Armenian comes from.
One created a video game about assaulting her.
Which is stupid and childish, but hardly unique. You'll find most celebrities on there.
One threatened to blow up the game developers conference if they gave her an award. One threatened to shoot up a school if she was allowed to speak.
Why are you saying that in the same breath? These people are terrorists and should be apprehended and prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Hello, I am the leader of the terrorist organization known as Gamergate.
But someone who makes a game on Newgrounds isn't. There's no comparison between them. They're not part of some same group.
I can't speak to the human cost this has had on Sarkeesian personally, so I'll just let her speak for herself.
I don't get to publicly express sadness or rage or exhaustion or anxiety or depression. I can't say that sometimes the harassment really gets to me.
You mean except for right now, on a stage in front of an audience announcing it to the world?
I don't get to express feelings of fear or how tiring it is to be constantly vigilant of my physical and digital surroundings.
What do you mean you don't get to express it? You are expressing it. It's not like you're writing this in a diary.
How I don't go to certain events because I don't feel safe.
Despite the tone I'm taking in these videos, it's not like I'm gleeful about this. I think it's a shame that she feels this way, that people have harassed her. I think it's bad, but that doesn't make her right. Nor does it make all of her critics haters or harassers.
Outside of these haters, the videos have been well received and seen by a whole lot more people than had she simply gotten to wrap her campaign and make her videos in peace.
Which just goes to show how stupid these assholes are. If they were trying to silence her, well, they kinda failed.
Sarkeesian coins new phrases and puts forth new ideas, but the bulk of her work is compiling.
Oh, compiling, is that what it's called? I thought it was called reading verbatim from TV tropes.
The term damsel in distress is a translation of the French demoiselle en détresse. Demoiselle simply means young lady, while détresse means roughly anxiety or despair caused by a sense of abandonment, helplessness, or danger.
Most of her views are shared by contemporary feminists, whom she quotes in her videos. And the interest in how women are portrayed in popular media goes back to the 60s or earlier. Today, much of this is taught in freshman-level women's studies and media literacy courses.
Women's studies.
This rhetoric is not new, and by most definitions of radical, it is not radical, and Sarkeesian is hardly the first person to apply it to games. All prompting the question of why? Why her, and why now?
Well, because you're wrong. Sort of. She might not be the first feminist video game critic, but she definitely is the first one that was introduced to the mainstream. She's the first one a huge number of people have been exposed to.
Sarkeesian herself has described it as being cast as the supervillain in a war against what she represents.
I'd argue that she's being cast as the innocent victim between two warring sides, duking it out, and she's just caught in the middle, getting stuck in the crossfire. A damsel, if you will.
The people who hate Anita Sarkeesian think she's wrong.
I don't hate her, but yes, she's wrong.
They think she's lying.
Occasionally.
They think she hates men. They think she hates games.
Nope, I don't agree with either of those.
They think she cherry-picks information to skew opinions.
Unquestionably, that's her MO.
They think she cheated people out of their money.
Nope, people are welcome to give away their money to anyone they see fit. What do I care? Well, maybe the videos are coming out a bit slow, but still.
They think she wants every game to be a walking simulator about lesbians and feelings.
Don't we all?
They think she wants to ruin games.
Oh, ruin games? No. That's EA.
And you can, if you squint and tilt your head, see how a person might possibly believe these things.
Whoa, really? Mr. fucking empathy.
But this can only explain that they are angry, not why. What is the nightmare scenario we're supposed to live in if Sarkeesian simply makes her videos?
Wait, is that a real video? I gotta watch this shit.
I feel completely comfortable saying that Anita Sarkeesian is comparable to Hitler.
Well, of course you do. Wow. Well, alright then.
The mainstream fails to see her speaking from a bias, and online articles will capitalize on her victimization through tweets from people who get so frustrated by her pro-censorship policies and her one-sided narrative who say something out of line.
You mean like comparing her to Hitler? Fucking hell, kid. Oh, you know what though? You're not wrong in your arguments, except they're presented in a super awkward way. Let's get back to the main presentation.
So what if she did want to ruin games? So what if I wanted to ruin games? That doesn't mean I'm capable of it. Can all this be explained as wanting to stop a heretofore largely unknown woman on the internet from being wrong about something?
Oh, I see. You must be new here. Welcome to the internet.
Why are they so angry? For ease of conversation, I'm going to call this inexplicably furious person Angry Jack.
We're back to Angry Jack, our favorite straw man. Perfect for misrepresenting all opposing arguments with, "Oh, Angry Jack, you are so multifaceted. I'm sure we'll see you a lot during this series, and I'm sure you'll never have an actual argument made by anyone who is actually critical of Anita."
And there is no single answer to this question.
Oh, I got one. I ain't even mad, though.
The internet is full of Angry Jacks, and Jack is not exclusively, but is typically, male.
Typically, yeah, I agree.
He's also commonly white and or straight and or cis and or raised middle class.
Well, yeah, but only insofar as everybody tends to belong to one of those groups. They are the majority, after all. You take any given group and the majority tends to be straight, white and cis. As far as the middle class goes, well, yeah, it's the biggest group by definition. And if you're really poor, you're not gonna be spending a lot of time whining about pointless things on the internet.
Which is to say, he usually looks like me. And it is largely people who look like me in at least one of these ways that I want to speak to right now.
People who look like you in at least one of these ways is the overwhelming majority. You'd have to be a non-white lesbian trans woman who wasn't born in the middle class to not belong to one of these categories.
To people who look like me, Jack is often a nuisance. To people who don't look like me, Jack is frequently dangerous.
Whoa, hang on a second. Dangerous? Why is he dangerous?
And I don't feel it's my place to tell people for whom Jack is a danger how they should think or feel about him.
Okay, how about you tell them, or us, actually, how he's a danger? I don't belong to all of those categories, and how is he dangerous to me? I don't understand. This is a huge group of people you're talking about, and you're lumping them all together with, what, the people who made terroristic threats? Is that it?
Go home, gamer girl.
Though minoritized people are absolutely welcome to view this or any of my other videos and to hold me accountable to anything I fuck up.
Well, I'm not minoritized, but I'll take you up on that anyway.
Also, Jack, if you're watching, I'm afraid I'm not here to talk to you either. I'm here to talk about you, though if you've made it this far, do please stick around.
Well, most of your definitions for who Angry Jack is not applicable to me at all, but I do feel like I'm getting lumped in with him a lot of the time. So I guess you're not talking to me, but about me some of the time. I'll stick around anyway if that's alright.
Because our question, why are you so angry, is probably something worth asking yourself.
But nigga, I ain't even mad though.
Bear with me. I am going somewhere with this.
Somewhere, sure, not the right place, but somewhere. Next time we'll be talking about how anyone who dares criticize Anita Sarkeesian or feminism or whatever are just intellectually lazy, who have never challenged their own worldview when they're just living in the comfortable and safe bubble that they were raised in. Because it couldn't possibly be that we have explored things, thought about them, and simply disagree with you.